First of all, I would like to, to welcome all of you and to introduce you who are the main speakers. As you see, we are recording the webinar today, and we are planning to send you all the materials after the session. So yeah, basically this is the agenda for the meeting. We have the welcome. We are going to present SOFIA, this product from RENVIS, and a live demo of the tool. So for this presentation, we have two persons today, with us. The first person is Panagiotis Papageorgiou. I hope I pronounce well. Who is a person with more than 28 years of senior executive management experience. Currently, he is the innovation director of the Hellenic Development Bank that foster innovation of the Greek entrepreneurs. He will be the first speaker today. And then we have Konstantinos Papanagiotis, that is the managing director and one of the co-founders of RENVIS. Sorry, Konstantinos, that is very difficult for me to pronounce, but I hope I am trying to do my best. So Konstantinos is the managing director and the co-founder of RENVIS, who is the company that we are supporting. He is more than 15 years experience as executive, project manager, and solution engineers. And RENVIS is a company founded in 2017, which developed B2B data-driven software solutions for effective decision making. So so far, he is one of the beneficiaries, as I mentioned, for this project called You Have for Data, supported by us as part of the Air Force DIH. So he is going to present SOFIA, this innovation scoring tool, in order to support business challenge, visualize data in a user-friendly way. And he is going to present everything. So Konstantinos Panagiotis, the floor is yours. So let's move to the presentation. I hope you enjoy. And as I mentioned, we have a Q&A at the end of the session. So if you have any doubt or you can make any question, you can use the chat or raise your hand, and we give you the floor to all the attendees to raise your questions. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Graciela, for the introduction. I know Greek sometimes is difficult for even for Greeks, so don't worry. Mr. Panagiotis is joining us today. I will give the floor to him for a short introduction about the project. Thank you very much, Mr. Papageorgiou, for joining us today. Please, the floor is yours.
Thank you too. Thank you too. Unfortunately, everything works fine except my camera, so you can hear me presumably, yes?
Okay, we can hear you.
All right. So I apologize because the system of the bank works with Teams and not with Zoom.
Okay.
Most of the cases, but still, I'm quite honored for having the opportunity of being with you today. We had the opportunity together with an exceptional company representing Elevate Greece, which is RENVIS, who does belong to the registry of the startup companies of Greece, to work on a very rigorous project that had to do with trying to find an answer to the quest on how to evaluate innovative companies and give very quickly automated and verified and audited results in a user-friendly manner, and help this way the ecosystem of the ones who want to finance this kind of innovative projects. That means banks or as a decision-making system, or venture capitals, or family offices, or anyone who wants to invest in innovative proposition. More than this, we have evolved together with the help of Konstantinos and Sofia, who are two excellent partners, the system towards not only making the first choice of deciding why and when to invest and why and if to invest in an innovative proposition, and then follow it up after the next 2 years probably when we have already invested, and see whether the investment decision we made was innovation success or innovation failure, and our money, what kind of value did they receive. So Konstantinos and his partners and his team went through all the academic bibliography, and he can tell you a little bit more about it, within a rigorous timing of 6 months, and work together hand in hand with validating whatever they find in all the algorithms they set up together with national national validation center. And we did have the exclamatory results that he will talk to you in a second. So no more than me, and apologize again that you don't see me. So Konstantinos, the floor is yours. Thank you for being so good partners to us, and we hope the best for your next series of SOFIA Innovation Scoring System.
Thank you so much, Mr. Papageorgiou. It's been an honor to work with your team, and with this opportunity, I would like also to thank the whole team in the Hellenic Development Bank and the other organizations that helped us to reach this point, National Documentation Center, as you already mentioned, Elevate Greece, and of course, our partners in EU Hubs for Data, ITI, IMT, AIR4S, and Funding Box that is hosting today's webinar. We can see that people are still joining the webinar, so we will move on to the presentation, and as people join, we will admit them, and hopefully they don't miss any important aspects of the presentation. To just give me a second, you can see my screen, I think. Yes, okay. Now, SOFIA Innovation Scoring is a data-driven decision support system targeted to automate innovation scoring process in the financial sector. And the first and most frequent question we had when we were presenting and talking about this system to our team or to our partners or to other public teams, it was why did you try to develop such system? The first thing was that Hellenic Development Bank wanted to find the right tool, not only a tool, the right tool to improve access to funding, especially for small teams like startups or larger like small and medium enterprises. They wanted to find the right tool to improve access to funding, and this way to improve and increase their bankability. So this is the first aim, the first target that we wanted to achieve by working together with the Hellenic Development Bank. And of course, not only find some information about innovation, but define specific business innovation evaluation factors. And based on these innovation evaluation factors, we can, of course, move on to introduce an alternative process for credit and investment evaluation, because until now, the financial sector has many tools for credit, for traditional credit and investment evaluation. But in terms of innovation scoring, it's an introduction of this process as an alternative process for evaluation. And this is, of course, a very new method, especially for the evaluations for the financial sector. And we observe that there is a lack of a complete innovation scoring tool like ours in the market. So it can be used, of course, by banks, but it can also be used by other types of organizations that would like to assess, would like to evaluate the innovation and use a tool, an innovation scoring tool, like funds, like venture capitals, like evaluation platforms, or registries, business registries, commercial registries, and etc. Of course, this system can act immediately as a supplementary to traditional banking credit and investment evaluation criteria. And we are planning to launch it in a way that it can be used as a service, as a software as a service, or on premises. So exactly what is SOFIA? Is a tool that can transform the methodology for innovation scoring into specific innovation scoring models and innovation scoring scorecards. It can be used, of course, for benchmarking, which is one of the most powerful features of the system, and it can automate and monitor the innovation scoring process and create evaluations based on specific and concrete factors and performance metrics. So this is in brief what SOFIA Innovation Scoring is. And we have been planning and following careful steps to achieve this status that we are currently. And the first one was to develop proof of concept, along with the Hellenic Development Bank and the National Documentation Center. The first step was to research the state of the art and the state of play of innovation scoring. Then we have proceeded to the next step, to the development of the methodology and the models. Of course, the development of the software platform. And then maybe the most crucial part of the proof of concept phase was the pilot, the beta testing of the system. In this step, we have collected real company data from companies that were willing to participate in our proof of concept. And of course, we have created our first innovation scorecard based on real company data. Then we have the feedback from the users based on specific questions, and after that we have presented the results, and we have collected many comments that we used also to create guidelines, to create assistance and support to the users of the system. The first step it was to participate in the EU Hubs for Data project, and then this was the beginning of diving deep into machine learning, into more insights from data. We have prepared existing and new datasets to explore new ways of analyzing data, and of course, we have developed machine learning models and tested them. After that, we have proceeded to the fine-tuning of the models. So after carefully going on to formulate the models, we have tested with the real data, and we have also tested the service requirements for all of these features of all of these data analytics to be part of the software. We have also the opportunity to organize a hackathon, which gave us the opportunity to know more about the current trends of data analytics and explore more on machine learning. Last but not least, we have reached the stage of integration of all of these into the system, and we have deployed the services. We have embedded these features, these machine learning models, these data analytics into the system, and we are currently monitoring the performance, and also we're designing our next step for the future. Let's take a look at behind the scenes, let's say, how we have done all that. We have first made a very deep research into innovation scoring factors, and we have created a pool of almost 139 specific innovation scoring factors. These innovation scoring factors came from research, and we have used the classification in the bibliography that can be used also for the models of the innovation scoring models. We have concluded that 4 of these classes, financial, organizational capability, strategy, and impact, all these classes can be the groups, the sections for the innovation scoring model. So we classified these factors into these 4 groups, and we use these 4 groups to develop the innovation scoring models. For the development of these models, we built an algorithm based on a matrix calculation that evaluate 2 types of innovation. The first one is the process innovation, and the second one is the disruptive innovation. So we are approaching the innovation by process innovation and by distinguishing process innovation and disruptive innovation in our innovation scoring models. By process innovation, we mean, of course, the innovation that implements improved production or delivery methods for products and services. And we have developed two scoring models for process innovation: the eligibility scoring model that examines to what extent process innovation exists, and the evaluation scoring model that furthermore monitors the success or the failure of an innovation project or of a company, etc. And of course, by disruptive innovation, we mean innovation that disrupts the market by displaying competition and offering advanced products or services to a wide audience. This is a very specific definition for disruptive innovation, but we follow the same approach also. We built one scoring model for eligibility that examines to which extent disruptive innovation exists, and one scoring model for evaluation, the monitoring of the success of the failure of the process when talking about disruptive innovation. Then we moved on to create more value and more insights, let's say, from the data that is into the system, so as the user can answer specific questions, specific business questions that existing data can help them to answer, of course, by using our system, our software. The first one was to ask how we can identify which innovation scorecard for a company, which innovation scorecard factors should be increased to improve a company's innovation score. This was the first business question that we have documented. The second one was to identify the risk level of investing into a company, based, of course, on a company's innovation scorecard. And the third one was to identify which of the provided company data is required and most important in order to predict the innovation score at an early stage. All of these business questions, we think that data can provide valuable answers to them, and the users can extract value by using the data that exists and just using a very modern, innovative tool like ours to transform the data to give them insights and suggestions. So by answering these questions, we provided insights, we provided some suggestions for the users of the software. For example, we can create on demand and per scorecard a classification per factor about how low or how high the factor scores. This way, we can suggest and define specific actions in order to increase the innovation scoring of a company. Also, we can identify innovation trends. We can identify innovation trends, for example, through time or per company sector or for a specific company, the progress of the company during the innovation scoring process. Second, we can see data about the usage of the factors, the usage frequency of the factors, and the weight of the innovation scoring factors. This can be done even per innovation scoring model section. This way, we have integrated scheduled data updates that can work in the background and create indexes and sorting of innovation scoring factors in order to use these factors in the creation of custom scoring models by simple user filters. So we didn't only get into the analysis of the data, but we have integrated them into simple user usage. Then we moved on to define the innovation risk level based on specific scorecard section classification. Again, through scheduled data updates, we have managed to calculate the average of section scores and use these calculations to update each innovation scorecard real time by the calculation of a risk indicator. Last but not least, we have 49, almost 50 company data fields available for company data input in order to calculate the innovation score. But we have identified that for early stage prediction, only 12 of them are required and important that can provide us an accuracy of almost 97%. This way, we can save time, we can optimize the resources used, especially during the process of company data input. So when the company is asked to enter this data, we can predict how much the innovation score will be by calculating calculations based on the 12 most important required data fields. Right now, we have a software in our hands that is scalable, can accept multiple factors with classes and weights, and we have embedded 4 default scoring models, as presented earlier, the innovation scoring models for the process innovation and the disruptive innovation. And also, we gave the ability for the users to create custom scoring model. The software is flexible, is hosted on the cloud in the Amazon Web Services. We use REST API to connect to external other systems that contain data that can be valuable to our system, like enterprise resource planning systems or databases. And we also use machine learning to give the software the feature it needs. Of course, it's a cooperative. It's built for the companies also to assist the financial institutions in the data input in order to create scorecards. And of course, the software is based on user access and with specific roles and rights for the user management. Right now, the software is bilingual in Greek and in English language. It has features like benchmarking, e-learning, and of course, risk estimation. Our technology readiness level is estimated at 7, and we're moving towards 8 right now. And this is a brief overview of the architecture of the software. On the left side, we can see how the users and the clients, either they are startups, SMEs, enterprises, or banks and other organizations, can interfere with the system through REST API, can have access to a web application, and of course, exchange data with additional sources, either they are internal, external, or through the web. In summary, we can say that we can have a very modern and innovative business innovation score, and it's fully operational. It can provide data exchange with external source of database. The users can have secure access, and the data is is integrated with secure ways so that nobody can access the data that is not structured for them to access. It provides a unified environment both for scorecards and innovation scoring models, and can act immediately as an alternative or supplementary evaluation process. From the proof of concept we had a user satisfaction rate that it's up to more than 85%. Of course, we are looking forward to make this even higher by constantly using it and providing even more features in the future. Our next steps are a very important access to the Bank of Greece regulatory sandbox in order to test our system with more data that are available for the financial sector in Greece specifically. Of course, the finish of the complete of our project, our EU Hubs for Data project, that is entitled SOFIA 4.0. It's scheduled for the next month. And of course, we have a deadline also with the EOSC DIH business pilot, also for the February of 2023. And the features are not done yet. We are continuously talking with our partners and the organizations that supported us to build more features and provide more value to our users and customers. Before I begin with the live demonstration of SOFIA, I would like, if anybody wants to ask something until now, if there are any questions about what we presented, please feel free to ask us.
Okay, as I mentioned, if you would like to ask something, you can raise your hand or put your question or your comment in the chat. So,
thank you, Graciela. We also have the question and answer session at the end.
Yeah.
So we will move on to the live demonstration of our software. Give me a second to change search windows. And you can see my web browser.
Yes.
Okay, great. This is the login screen of our system, SOFIA Innovation Scoring. The user enters credential, username, which is the email and the password, and clicks login. This is the home screen. On the top left corner, we can see the logo of the system and the name of the bank. This is the demo account that we created for demo purposes. And of course, here on the right side of the top, you can have access, the user can have access to all the necessary sections of the system. But also we have available some quick links from the welcome screen that provide the quick navigation to scorecards, to scoring models, and to companies. Anytime you can submit your feedback or contact us through email or telephone to support you and read more about the scoring calculation guidelines in the learning sections, which we will detail later. The first time the user enters the system, automatically a tutorial is started in order to, let's say, shorten the learning curve of the user and assist the user to use the system. The user can click start a tutorial at any time in order to start again the tutorial that guides the user to the main sections of the system and the main shortcuts that the user can use to navigate the software. Of course, a brief overview for the scorecards, for the list, and how the user can click the buttons and what function is behind its functionality. So I will just click through the tutorial, and then we can move on to the real presentation of the system. Let's imagine that I'm a bank manager that would like to evaluate, let's say, a portfolio of innovation scoring companies that are available in my bank. And for example, we have these three companies that are in the system. Let's say that we want to enter a new company. All we have to do is click the new company button and enter the name, an email, and the VAT of the company. All the other information the user can enter, but it's not mandatory. And then all we have to do is create company. And by creating this company, an automated email will be sent to the company email. This way, the company will get notified that this bank has invited you to use SOFIA Innovation Scoring and can use the guidelines provided through that email in order for the company to have also access to the system. Of course, other features are available for companies, and other features are available for banks and financial organizations. But we have created a collaborative system in order for both types of users to have access to the data used, and also for the companies to support the financial institutions that would like to have the company data and facilitate the whole process of the innovation scoring. So by clicking Create Company, an email is automatically sent to the company, and the company has also access. Of course, after that, the company is entered into the portfolio of companies, and we can, for example, view the data about the company. We will click the first company. We have created an overview of the company by embedding two dashboards. The first one on the left is defining is presenting the number of the total number of scorecards that are available for this company, and the second one on the right is to present information about the highest scorecard, its score, and the risk indicator of this particular scorecard. In more detail, here on the left side, we have also a radar chart that compares the highest scorecard of this specific company with the mean scorecard of all the data available inside SOFIA. This way, just by clicking the company overview of a specific company, the user can have a quick insight on how this company can score related to all the data available in our system, which is very crucial for managers to have a quick overview and have a quick information about how this company scores. Also, on the right side, we have a very informative dashboard about how the company and the highest scorecard for this company is also divided into sections. As you will probably remember, we have 4 sections: the financial section, the organizational capability, strategy, and impact. And we have separate scores for these 4 sections. If we click here, we can go straight to the scorecard that is available as the highest scorecard and see more details about the factors. And also we can see some specific graphs about this scorecard, but we will also use our system to create new ones in order for you to have a brief overview of how we can create more scorecards. If we move on below, we can see that we have a table with company data. This is the core. This table is the core for creating the innovation scorecards, because as you will see later, the company data is used to automatically create innovation scorecards. We can create multiple records by clicking Add Record, and I will just create a new record to just show you what information is included. We have information about revenue, previous year data, economic data about revenue, and data for other years. We also have information for previous years, and we have included automatic calculations that the user can see about relation between revenue, expenses, assets. We have also included information about budgeting, staff, and innovation level. Of course, there are some other questions that are related to innovation, and for each one of these questions and fields, we have included an information box in order for the users to have a quick overview of what this question is, what this innovation scoring factor wants to have, to depict, and how the information already available in the company can be used to answer these innovation factor questions. For example, for technology readiness level, we have what is the definition of TRL, what we mean about a number of innovation projects, or what we mean when we say personnel employed in R&D or staff with master's, doctorate, or equivalent education level. By completing this data, the user has to just enter a specific date and then click add in order for the record to be inserted into the company data record. This record is already filled and available that we can use in order to create some scorecards, as we will see later. Of course, at any time, the user can view the company data and edit them by adding more information as we'll move on to filling or more data. It doesn't have to be one-time enter of company data, and we have designed this this way in order to help the users to gather the data as they move on and they read on about the more in innovation. So let's move on to scorecards. Here we have, when we click scorecards, we have a list of all the scorecards available for the specific financial organization. And we have created some scorecards for you to see the demonstration of the system. We have also integrated some filters in the list in order for the user to be available to filter the information and receive quick insights from the data. If we click, for example, here, we can see the details of the scorecard. We have the name of the scorecard, the model that was used to create the scorecard, which company data was used, which company is referred to, which was the creator, who was the creator, and when this scorecard was created. And of course, we have some comments available for the user to add. As you can see below, we have complete scores with factors, and we have a section score for each section, for the financial section, for the organization capability section, strategy, and impact. Of course, after the calculation of the scorecard, the charts here are created automatically in order for the manager to have a quick overview of how this innovation scorecard depicts in the scoring. We will create a new scorecard just to show you how this process can be straightforward and, of course, automated. We can choose a name of the scorecard, an innovation scoring model, company to evaluate, and of course, which company data is the reference base for the innovation scorecard. As you probably already seen, the calculations are automatically made for specific factors, and we have already the scores available for each innovations factor based on the company data that we have selected. Here we also have for each factor an extra field, an extra note field that can accept text or files or images if the user wants to add some more information regarding specific innovation scoring factors. As we move on to all the sections, we see that all the scores are calculated, and if we click calculate, we have the calculation of the total scorecard and the risk indication of this innovation scorecard. Of course, the bar chart is calculated automatically, as well as the other chart is calculated. So if we click create scorecard, we can see above here that the scorecard was created, and we have the creation date, score, the risk estimation, and the model that was used. The user can always download a PDF of this scorecard. An example of that can be shown here. We have a very quick reporting tool that is embedded through PDF. Then the user can have a quick output, let's say, from the system of how the innovation scorecard is scored. Of course, we can always view and edit the information of the scorecard. and delete if we don't want to use it later on. With if we click, as we done earlier, the new scorecard, it is mandatory to select a company and some company data to create the scorecard. But we have also integrated a feature that is called industry standard, when a user can have a manual scorecard, a manual innovation scorecard that the user can use in order to create some comparisons or some thresholds in order to be used later on with the system. If we click the new industry standard and give a name to this scorecard, of course, we have to select an innovation scoring model. The user can manually define which specific score per factor this scorecard should include. And if we move on with setting manually the scores that we would like to have as a threshold or as a reference point, just give me a second here, fill them all, and click calculate. We have a new scorecard that it's not mandatory to be referenced to a specific company. It's manually created, and we can use it, of course, into the system. This is the industry standard threshold that we just created. We can use it, of course, to compare information between companies and go on with the benchmarking process. If we click the benchmarking button, we can use this drop-down menu to select the innovation scoring model that we would like to use for benchmarking. And as you can see, the system automatically the scorecards that was created based on process innovation eligibility scoring model. This is very helpful for the user because they are selecting only these scorecards that were created through this model. And for example, let's say that the bank manager wants to see how the three companies that has in his portfolio or her portfolio score for innovation. So if we select these three scorecards from these three companies, we can have an aggregation table for the portfolio of this company that can provide us many insights and very helpful information about the financial section, the organizational capability section, the strategy section, the impact section of each scorecard and each company. It can also provide us an aggregation of the data in order to use, let's say, how this portfolio scores in total. And of course, we have some specific charts right down here that can also provide us some very, very informative presentation of data. For example, we can very quickly say that this company, the ICT company, does not score well compared to other companies into the organizational capability and the strategy sections. But in the financial and impact, all the companies are more or less the same. Of course, these graphs are interactive, and we can click through them to have more information if we want. So by using, for example, this threshold we have created earlier, we can see, compared to the industry standard threshold, how these companies are scoring. We can very quickly see that this company, the ICT company, it is not below the threshold that we have manually set before with the scorecard. So we can very quickly see that only these two companies are above this threshold that we have set manually earlier. So this is very helpful for the managers, and this is a very helpful representation of the data, of course. We haven't showed yet, but we will do now, the innovation scoring models. This is, for example, the process innovation eligibility scoring model that with this view, we can see the weights for each factor and we can, of course, create new models. This is the feature that we have already talked about, but we can create new models apart from these default models. For example, if we have here a name for the model and a description, we can select from the pool of factors for the financial section, and by just dragging and dropping here the factors and setting the weight, we can create a brand new model to be used in the innovation scoring process. We have to select for each section at least one factor. So just let me click here, create model, and as you can see, the new innovation scoring model has been created. We can view it by clicking here, and these are the weights that we have selected, and also it can be used right away immediately into the system by creating a new scorecard for a company based on this new scoring model. As you probably already saw, by clicking the company data and the company, we have already the scores for each factor that we have selected to create the innovation scoring model. And by clicking calculate, of course, we have an estimation of the total score and the average. And of course, we can click here a name and save the scorecard for future reference. I don't know if you have any questions. If you have, of course, you can use the chat or you can interrupt me. We're not going to lose more valuable time, but we will just show you some of the features that are very useful to the users and are not mainly dealing with the creation of the scorecards. We have embedded a e-learning feature that can be used to have more information on what is SOFIA Innovation Scoring. We have embedded a quick start guide for bank managers and companies. We have specific information about scorecards. We have specific information about the scoring models and how the user can register or authenticate. All this information is available inside the system by the e-learning tab, by the e-learning section. And of course, we can have multiple users. The bank manager, for example, which is, for our example, the administrator of the system, can also use this interface to add additional users of the bank, so that many people from the same team, from the same company, from the same bank can use the system and enter data into the system. I think this concludes our live demonstration. If you have any questions, I think we are just in time for our Q&A session. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask. Thank you very much for your patience up to now, and for your participation in the webinar.
Thank you, Konstantinos. It's amazing. It's amazing. The job you did it is completely amazing. We are, looking forward for see SOFIA everywhere. So we would like to, to open the floor to the attendees in order to have any question. This is the moment to ask. Okay, no questions?
No questions. Yes, I think either everything was clear or not clear at all.
In any case, I imagine that we are going to provide the cost. And Echo is asking about the cost. Yes, this is important thing. Yeah.
Yes, it's very important. We know, and We are now in the process of, along with the Hellenic Development Bank and other partners, to specify a specific pricing strategy for that. We are up to this moment, all we can say that we're planning to provide both types of integrations, both for cloud software as a service and on premises. This is what we can share about the pricing information right now. So we will provide licensing and also for cloud and on premises, but we don't have let's say the permission to share more information about the pricing right now yet, but it's a process that will finish very soon.
More questions about the tool, more questions about RENVIS as a company. Yeah.
If I can add, Graciela, let me add that a part of these languages, the English language and the Greek language, we're planning to integrate more languages as time goes by, because we have developed this feature to be easy to translate the interface between languages. So if we have some requests for additional languages, please let us know in order to to know how to move on to our project.
Okay. Any other question? Well, in any case, as I mentioned, you will receive the information for this session with the contact data in order to ask, any questions to Konstantinos and to RENVIS team in the future. And if there is no questions, thanks again for attending this event. As we are in our way to finish our support to you, Konstantinos, all the best to you, to RENVIS and SOFIA. We are hoping to collaborate more with you in the future. And yeah, basically thanks to our team that was the one, organizing all the event, to other DIAs supporting this specific project for the successful collaboration during this time, and to the EU Hubs for Data for funding the project and the services and to allow to collaborate within this thing. So thank you very much to all of you, and let's keep in touch. We will send you all the information for the session. And yeah, if you have any question, direct to the RENVIS team. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you very much. Bye.